Hey everybody, I've got a pretty cool dry fire system right here in this box to show you all out there tonight. This is WV Guns and Goats, and this right here is the BlueOps Technology Smart Magazine, the XMag dry fire system for Glock pistols. Now with winter coming, I assume it'll be here eventually. It's still 80 degrees here in West Virginia. The nights are getting longer, the days are getting shorter, which means less time to spend at the range. So why not bring the range inside? You can use this in the comfort and confines of your own home. This is a system that gives you feedback on your dry fire game that dry fire alone cannot give you. But before we get into it, how about you headbutt that subscribe button to join the herd here at WV Guns and Goats. Alright, so what is this? Well, it's a dry fire system that can give you the same feedback as a shot timer, and it's designed for one of the most popular pistols out there, the Glock 9mm. Yes, I know there's multiple models, and this covers everything from full size to compact to subcompact double stack 9mm Glocks. Looking at the back of the sleeve here, we can see it includes 2 X magazines, a X laser, and an app on your smartphone. There's also a list of items that come in this box as well, and we're going to go ahead and get into these. So let's open it up. This sleeve just slides off of there, and you're presented with a nice semi-hard fabric case. It has the BlueOps logo and name embossed on it. And you unzip it, you see it is a foam lined. It has all these cutouts for the magazines and for the laser here. And this quick start guide on top is for you to be able to scan that QR code and download their app. It works with iOS or Android. Now there's a bunch of stuff up here in this pouch, and I'm going to take this out piece by piece to show you what you get. First off, there's an Allen key. This is if you have an aftermarket trigger in your Glock handgun, you can adjust these magazines to work with it. This is a USB-C cable to allow you to charge the magazines. Then there's 2 pieces here. You might be able to recognize what these are for, but these are magazine baseplate extensions. If you want to use these magazines in something like a Glock 17 or a Glock 34, you're going to have to attach these mag baseplate extensions to these magazines because they come set up for a Glock 19 sized handgun. And then there is this blue rod right here. This rod is for knocking the X laser out of the chamber of your firearm. So you just insert it and boop, knock it out of the gun because it does sit in the chamber pretty snugly. And there is a battery that is included with this system for the laser there, but it does take common batteries you can get at your local Walmart. Let's go ahead and look at these items together. Now here we have the 2 X magazines. They seem really well made, and they should hold up to plenty of times being dropped while you're dry firing with them. I'll set these to the side and I'll show you this single magazine here. So right here we have a QR code. This is for connecting the magazine to the application in your phone. This USB-C port is for charging the magazine. This button right here is pressed by the mag catch, and we have a light right here. Now you see it flashing right now. That's because this magazine is not connected to the application. When this is plugged in and charging, this light will flash multiple times as it charges. But this light is also what activates this laser unit right here, and I'll show you that here in a moment. This hole right here is where you would insert the Allen key to make adjustments to the activation button. And this is the activation button right here. When this is in the gun and this button here is depressed, watch this. Did you hear that as well? Every time this is pressed in the gun and you pull the trigger, that gets pressed, and a little weight or solenoid moves up and down in the magazine to kind of give you a sensation of pulling the trigger. This light, though, strobes like that to activate the laser unit. If you're familiar with these little dry fire lasers, you'll know that they usually have a rubber striker pad right here that the firing pin of the pistol strikes. However, on this system, the light that was flashing there activates that little light sensor right there, and then the laser beam will shoot out of the barrel and onto your target. And that is how the system works. Let's go ahead and look at the app. So first off, you're going to download the app and open it. It's going to require you to create a user account first, and then you'll be presented with this screen right here. And then there's some icons at the top. You want to use the one on the top right. That is your menu icon. And you'll be presented with this screen here: profile settings, device manager, contact us, view setup video, troubleshooting, terms and conditions, and sign out. You want to go to device manager. All right, and then you're going to want to press the plus button and have your magazines charged. It'll bring up a camera screen where you can scan your magazine, and you'll see a little mag with a check mark. If the scan is correct, you may have to scan it multiple times, and then you'll be presented with this screen where you can see the connected magazines and their battery level, and it supports multiple magazines. And then we'll go back to the main screen, and I'll run some of these drills for y'all. So as you can see, we have our target set up down the hallway there, and we have our Glock 19 sized, not a Glock here, and it is completely unloaded and safe. We have our X laser unit right here. We're going to insert that into the chamber and push it forwards until it seats itself in the barrel. Then we can close the slide here. If we operate the slide, it will not eject from the firearm. That's what the blue rod is for, to remove it from the barrel. Now we have a shelf right here, and these are our two XMag smart magazines. We've got them connected to the app here. Now in this app, there are 3 drills: El Presidente, All In, and then It's 12 Glock. I won't be demonstrating the It's 12 Glock drill because it requires a lot more space and a lot more movement than I have the room for right now. But I'll show you the other 2 in here. So our El Presidente standoff, and I have 3 targets on that target down there. I'm going to go ahead and read the drill to you. It says standing 10 yards away, and yeah, we're kind of about 10 yards. Back facing 3 targets that are 1 yard away from each other. Well, they're not 1 yard, but we're working with what we got here. Hands at the surrender position. At the start signal, turn around and engage with 2 rounds into each target. Perform a mandatory reload and re-engage with 2 more rounds into each target. Now we have the ability to load up to 8 rounds in each magazine for this drill. We're going to leave it at 6 here, and we're going to have our magazines, our spare magazine right here next to us, and we're going to start with our gun loaded right here on the shelf. So when we hit the go, it's going to tell you to load and make ready on the screen, and then ensure that one of your XMags is loaded before continuing. Once that's loaded in to the firearm, now the yellow goes away. We are shooting against the BlueOps AI in here, and then it says hit play to start. Now I'll show you the outcome on the screen here, and it will give you a buzzer too. Once you've shot the drill, it will say to press done there when finished. So the BlueOps bot beat me, but he's pretty good in there. 7.5 seconds basically. First contact with gun was just under a second here. And then the time to first round was 1.3 seconds. Our reload time was 1.7 seconds. Average split was just under half of a second there. And our best split was 180. We can also break down this information from shot to shot. So just like a shot timer would give you your splits, this program can give them to you as well. We got our first contact, round 1, 1.352. Round 2 was 0.232, 660, 180, 560, 192, and then we got to the reload, which was 1.7 seconds. The extraction time was 396. The insertion time was 1.392. And then we have our split here. And then you can also see what the bot got, which was just under 5 seconds. It has all of its information here. And then you can either rerun the drill or close it out. Now the next one is all in. This allows you to set the parameters for your own drill. It allows you to load multiple rounds, simulated rounds, into the magazine, all the way up through 30, 40 rounds. And then we have a random jam slider that you can turn on and off. So I'm gonna go ahead and run some of these, and we're just gonna put the 16 rounds that I got it set up for on the target down there. All right, so that was both mags, 16 rounds. And let's see what we got here on the screen. So it was 10.295 seconds for 32 rounds there, 16 and 16. And then our time to first round was 1.079. Our reload time was 2.756. Average split was 2.26. Best split was 1.52. And then if we wanted to, we could go into the breakdown. Here's a couple of example times that I got, 6 rounds per magazine with the reload. Well, there you have it, everybody. Our look at the BlueOps Technology XMag dry fire system. And this system will run you about $300 on BlueOps' website. Now, it was pretty neat that it gave us the feedback that a shot timer would get, and it's pretty neat that it has a couple different drills that you can work with in the app itself. I did run into some issues trying this in an SCT frame on my Anderson Kiger 9, and I also had a couple issues that just had to kind of mess with it to get it to work in a PSA dagger, but it worked best in this Polymer 80 and actual Glock frames, but that's what it's built for. So guys, thanks for joining me tonight for this WV Guns & Goats video. Remember, if you're not out there, or I guess in here, having fun shooting, what are you doing?